So you've always wanted to buy your own home and you're wondering, should I start saving for a down payment? Or does it actually even make sense to buy a house at all? So I'm going to go over the most commonly asked questions and why you may not want to buy a house right now or not even at all. And where I think most people get it wrong when they buy. So let's dig in. The pride of home ownership has always been a part of the American dream. Most people want to own their own home because it gives them a sense of stability and independence. It's where families gather together to cultivate lasting memories and where connections are built. It inspires people to unlock their creativity, and it's a space that reflects their unique design and personality and gives them a sense of accomplishment. So we can agree this is something most people dream of, but with every year going by, it seems that this dream is getting further and further away.
It doesn't make sense. Whatever's happening now doesn't make sense.
From his downtown Toronto balcony, a housing market Phil Warder once saw as attainable is now anything but.
We were putting in bids and we thought we were being competitive. We would go $100,000, $200,000 over the asking price, and we were getting outbid by $100,000 to $200,000.
Warder and his family are in the same boat as so many other Canadians. Double-income household, good jobs, a kid and a dog, and in need of more living space. But they're stuck in a condo downtown.
You should be able to afford a house.
In theory, we should, yeah.
In reality?
Not so much.
With rising interest rates, homeownership is becoming more and more expensive. With most people's mortgages having just recently being renewed or coming up for renewal in the next few years, some people face a higher payment of 30 to 50% more than what they were paying before. Some are faced with the option of having to downsize, sell their homes and rent another home, work another part-time job just to make ends meet. So where did all of this go wrong? I thought investing in real estate was a good investment. So I think investing in real estate can be a good investment, but there's a really important question people forget to ask themselves when they buy a property. So you want to ask yourself, am I looking to buy a house or am I looking to invest in real estate? Those are two completely different questions. So the intent of buying a house is going to be essentially a place you're planning on living in with your family to build memories. It's where most people invest their money as their main asset so that when they eventually retire, they hopefully have their house paid off and they have a place to live without having to pay any mortgage payments or rent. Once they retire, they may use this asset as a source of income for their retirement years. They may take out a reverse mortgage. They may sell the property and downsize in order to have money accessible to them in their future years as well. I think where most people get it wrong is when they only invest in real estate for their retirement plan, which makes sense today because house pricing is so expensive. Most people don't have any extra money to put aside in investments because it's all going towards their mortgage. But what most people don't realize is if they started investing in the stock market like an equity fund years ago, they may even have more money set aside than if they would have just only invested in real estate. So there must be a better way to invest money in real estate. And that leads me to the second question. Am I looking to invest in real estate with cash flow as an investment? Investing in real estate is really focused on the main source, investing in property as an investment. Not necessarily to live in, but to invest in. So you want to make sure that the income you're getting from this property minus your expenses will give you a return in the end on your investment. So I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think that by buying a $1 million home today with using a minimum down payment of $75,000 that you'll make more money on the property versus investing that $75,000 in an equity fund in the stock market? which one do you think will make you more money? So before I answer that question, first I want to give you guys an example of what it's like for most people that live in the largest city in Canada and what they are experiencing at the moment in real estate. Okay, so this is what most people are experiencing in the Toronto area at the moment. The average house price is more than $1 million actually, but we'll use $1 million as an example. So let's say you buy a home for $1 million, and these are all rough calculations, they will not be exact, but let's say your down payment is $75,000 on your $1 million home, and let's say your approximate mortgage will be $950,000. At current interest rates of anywhere from 5.5% to 8%, we're going to use 6% in this example, your payments are looking to be around $6,000 a month approximately. So this same property that you're buying for $1 million, currently you can rent anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month. So just think, even if you're renting it for $4,000 a month instead of paying $6,000 on your mortgage, that's an extra $2,000 a month you could be doing something else with, like investing it, for example. So as you can see, buying this type of property isn't really necessarily a good investment because you're not going to be breaking even if you were to rent it out. If you rent it out for $4,000 a month, you're going to be forking out $2,000 of your own money plus all the other expenses just to hold this home. So there may be other opportunities that might be better to consider. There's also other ways you may be able to cash flow this property. You may be able to rent the basement. You may be able to rent rooms out of your home. So there's other ways you can try to make these properties cash flow, but by investing in a single family dwelling, it's very difficult to see it as a great investment in order to cash flow. So it's becoming tougher and tougher to buy investment properties in order to either break even or have cash flow. You need to do a lot of research and see maybe what cities in your country have these opportunities left, because even in my hometown, I've been looking at investment opportunities there as well, and it's very difficult to cash flow. You're lucky if you're breaking even, because with all the property taxes that the province is charging you to hold this investment property, that's making it very difficult for investors to break even. But if you do your research, you can still find some out there. So now if you're thinking maybe buying a home or investing in real estate may not be the best investment for you at the moment, what else do you want to do or should you do with your money? So I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison between investing that $75,000 in a home versus investing $75,000 in the stock market. The comparisons between being a home buyer versus a renter. Now, if you are a home buyer and you decide to buy that $1 million home, your mortgage payment would be currently $6,000 a month. If you are renting the same home, you would be paying around $4,000 a month. So in this home buying case, you don't have any extra money to invest. So you're not investing any money every month. Meanwhile, the renter will be investing that $2,000 per month that they would have paid if they would have bought that property anyway. So they're going to invest that money. Now, in both cases, they're going to, as the home buyer, use the down payment of $75,000, and the renter will invest that $75,000 as a lump sum. Now, the home buyer, the property appreciation after 25 years is estimated, the doubling the property value every 10 years. We're estimating $2.5 million this home will be worth in 25 years. Now, the renter that invested that $2,000 a month at a 9% per year rate of return will have earned more money, $2.8 million. So this is just a general calculation. So there's going to be a lot of variables that we're not considering in these two instances, but it's just to show you that investing in the stock market and maybe renting is not so bad, because most people think, you're renting and you're wasting all your money towards rent and it's not going anywhere. But I think a lot of people don't realize that when you own a home, that interest is going somewhere. You're paying the bank. So either you pay it to the bank or you pay it in rent. So anyway, just to show you that in these cases, you can actually potentially earn more by investing it. So some of the pros of renting is, for example, if you want to change jobs in order to advance your career. Now, if you're in a big city, it's going to be much easier for you to just move if you're renting. If you own, you're going to have to sell your home and pay the realtor fees and possibly pay a penalty to break your mortgage. So there's lots of, variables there as well. But, the freedom of renting gives you more flexibility if you want to move and change careers or advance your career to make more money. If you're renting, you won't have any property repair costs. You will also not deal with interest rate risk. So we're experiencing that now. I mean, a lot of people's payments have almost doubled, and it's crazy to think how quickly that can change. Now, if you've decided to go towards the investment route, having it tied up in a property, having it in an investment will allow you more liquidity, because mortgages or lines of credit have changed so much even in the last year, where people are unable to borrow more than 65% of the property's value, where before they could borrow up to 80%. So having access to your asset in form of liquidity or cash makes it more and more difficult if you own a property versus if you have it sitting in an investment. So I hope this has really opened up your eyes to see the pros and cons of both owning and renting. I would also love to hear what you guys think. Do you guys prefer renting or do you guys prefer owning? Do you like the flexibility and the freedom that renting gives you, or would you rather have the pride of ownership of owning a home? So I appreciate you guys staying till the end. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe. So I really appreciate your guys' time, and I'll see you guys next time.